Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be joined by Senator Ron Wyden. Senator, thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thanks for having me back. First one in 2012.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's talk about the GOP debates and the field of candidates. What do you think of them so far?
My sense is it'll probably be tough to beat Mitt Romney. Obviously, we're waiting to hear what comes in New Hampshire, and particularly Governor Huntsman hopes to establish momentum, and Rick Santorum wants to build on Iowa. But my general take, and I don't profess to be a big expert on the Republican primary, is that Mitt Romney will be tough to beat in that primary.
Is he the candidate you think poses the biggest challenge to President Obama?
Well, my sense is the president is going to win this election. I'm a supporter. Obviously, it'll be a debate involving the economy, and the battle always comes down to moderates and independents. But I think he'll be reelected.
Do you think that much can change? I mean, I know in politics they say wait 5 minutes, or among many things that they say. With the economy, could we see much change between now and November?
We could, and the last few months have been a bit of improvement. One of the reasons I've just finished 8 town hall meetings, I go to each county every year, is because, of course, rural Oregon is really hurting. And a lot of people are saying, well, it's a presidential election year, so not much is going to happen back there. And I just don't think you can have elected officials take a year off from the public's business. And I feel strongly about making sure there's a forestry bill. I authored the county payments legislation for timber, and we've got to get that reauthorized. We need an ag bill. Ag's a $4 billion industry for our state. We also need a transportation bill. This area used the Build America Bonds program I wrote extensively, and we need another transportation bill.
Yeah, you've been holding all these town halls of late. Is anything your constituents are sharing with you that might surprise some of our viewers?
I don't think people will be surprised to hear it's all about the economy. There were a number of meetings where there were no other issues. I know in Coos Bay, people are talking about natural resources. In Grants Pass, the focus, of course, were jobs in forestry, the overall economy. There's still a lot of economic hurt out there. I also talked about my tax reform bill, where Democrats and Republicans can get together, as we saw in 1986 with Democrats and Ronald Reagan. When we had a tax reform approach like mine a quarter century ago, they produced 6.3 million new jobs in 2 years. So those are the issues on people's minds.
Excellent. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Senator Wyden in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Senator Ron Wyden. You introduced the FRESH Act. Tell us about that and how it's going so far.
Well, first of all, I hope everybody knows that this is going to be a priority this session, because we do a lot of things well in Oregon. But what we do best is grow things. We ought to grow things, we ought to add value to them, and then we ought to ship them somewhere. And what I'm proposing with the FRESH legislation, it's essentially fresh regional foods, fruits, and vegetables, is to make it possible, for example, in the school lunch program, which is a multi-billion-dollar program for school districts like ones here in Southern Oregon. Instead of having to buy so much from some big federal warehouse hundreds of miles away, they could start purchasing more from local farmers. I think it's a chance to get around some of those transportation costs, get more fresh food here locally, and that's what my legislation is all about. And we had a ag task force. It was chaired by Mike Thorne, a wheat farmer from Eastern Oregon. The folks at Stallbush Farm, Carla Chambers, was instrumental as well. And now I think we have a chance to put our Oregon stamp on the ag bill.
All right. Now I want to ask you, what is the toughest part of your job?
Well, it's certainly logistics. You can never really predict the Senate schedule. The theory is that you'll get out at some particular time when a bill wraps up, and then all of a sudden a senator says, nope, I'm going to block something, and then the schedule is turned topsy-turvy. So it's mostly logistics. I love being home. I love the town hall meetings. We've now had about 608 of them in my time in the United States Senate. It's great to have a chance to listen to people and try to respond to their concerns. And I like the process, particularly of trying to work in a bipartisan way in Washington, D.C. But certainly the biggest challenge is just the schedule, the logistics. So often the plane flight that you think is going to land,
mention that, yeah.
plane flight you think is going to land at a certain time doesn't even take off, and those are part of the challenges.
Well, hopefully you get out of here without much of a fog problem.
It's going to be gorgeous today.
It's gorgeous right now,
but
later.
there is no logistics challenge that doesn't make this an enormous honor to serve the people of Oregon. I never believed I would have this opportunity. As I say, a first-generation kid with a face for radio to represent Oregon in the United States Senate. It's an extraordinary honor and a privilege.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming in and giving us some of your time today.
Let's do it again.
All right, thank you, Senator. Stay with us. We'll be right back.